Hi. Yes, I do look the way that I feel. I'm 35 and 2 and large. I had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and when they measured me, I'm measuring 2 centimeters ahead officially. So the doctor was like, do you have big babies? Luke was 8'3", which anything over 8 I guess is big. I don't know. That's how they treated me at the hospital anyway when I had him, was that he was big. And Mike and I are not small people. I mean, Mike's 6'2", I'm 5'7", so I expect my babies to be big, I guess. And we both have big heads, Mike and I. So Luke's always had a really big head too. Anyway, so the doctor wasn't like concerned about the fact that I'm measuring 2 centimeters ahead, just more like something to know, I guess. My mom, when my mom had her 6th, which her 6th was her last, when my mom had her 6th baby, at 40 weeks, she was measuring 46. You're supposed to be kind of in line with your weeks. She was measuring 46 at 40 weeks. So, and you know, I think that you get bigger and bigger with every kid. I feel really big. Like I am very uncomfortable, and I don't know. I think you really forget about the really hard parts of being pregnant. I mean, I remember being uncomfortable with Luke when it came to like the back pain. I had a really bad back pain with Luke, but this one, I think I feel different because I have to be more active because I'm a mom of a toddler. So I'm on my, I'm not really on my, well, I am on my feet more. I don't know. It's kind of sixes because I exercise with the other one. So I was on my feet because I was exercising, which is maybe why I had so much back pain. This one I haven't really been exercising, but I'm on my feet a lot because I'm taking care of a kid. He's moving. He's giving me lots of wiggles right now. Probably won't see anything. He always wiggles at this time of night. But anyway, but I'm up and down off the floor a lot, which I wasn't before. Like when I was pregnant with Luke, there would be no reason for me to get on the floor. The lighting is good. Sorry guys, it's 9:30 at night. I just look like really sunburned. I'm not sunburned. Anyway, so I'm up and down off the floor a lot, and I'm picking a lot of stuff off the floor all day long, as you can imagine with a toddler. So I'm always like bending over. And those are things that I did not do when I was pregnant with Luke that I remember, because I had no reason to be sitting on the floor, and there wasn't always a toy to be picked up. I mean, my house was clean most of the time. So this is very different in like what I'm doing during the day, and it is like rocking my body. By the end of the day, I'm just like, whew. Mike's been camping. This is his second night. This is his last night, but it's his second night gone. He's just camping with the youth from our church, and so I've been doing all the things, including like bathing Luke and putting him to bed and stuff. And right now, at this point, I have not been bathing Luke, and I have not been physically putting him to bed, like in his crib. We put him in his crib asleep, not awake. So bathing him, like leaning over a bathtub, is really hard because I can't really do that. And like leaning over to put him, he still sleeps in his crib, leaning over to put him in his crib is hard. So it's just hard. It's been hard. I mean, today was a good day. Like, you know, single parent style, it was a good day. But my body hurts. I'm tired. So anyway, back to the doctor's appointment. So if you remember from the last video, my doctor's gonna be out of town the week before I am due. and which I am still really upset about. So because I'm measuring so big, I said to him, so should I try to get this baby out before you go to town? I'll be 38 and some. Or should I try to keep the baby in until you get back? And he said, when I go in for my 37 week, which is in 2 weeks, which is my next appointment, they will do an ultrasound. And he said, and when we do your ultrasound, I will let you know what I think. Not that I'm really in control, you know what I mean? It's not like I can like force the baby out. I just, you know, it's more kind of like, I said it kind of like in jest, you know. I just wondered his thoughts on the matter. But I asked him what kind of doctor he is. Now, he delivered Luke, but I was induced with Luke, so I mean, it was all scheduled. I asked him what kind of doctor he is when it comes to like, if I were to go into labor in the middle of the night or on a weekend, if he's the type of doctor that comes, even though he's outside of his normal hours, or if it's just the on-call doctor, which I want my doctor. I think everybody prefers their own doctor. I mean, that's the reason you choose a doctor. And he told me Monday through Thursday, 24/7, they do their own. So like the medical group that he's a part of, he said Monday through Thursday, 24/7, they do their own deliveries. So if it were like after hours, there is an on-call doctor for like after hours. Monday through Thursday, Luke's moving around. Don't wake up, buddy. But there's an on-call doctor, but they would still call him and have him come, assuming he can. And, you know, they expect to. Like, they expect to be doing their own deliveries. He said Friday, Saturday, Sunday is a little bit different because, you know, those are his weekend days. So he's out and about doing stuff with his family and boating, hiking. He's a pretty active guy. So he said typically the on-call doctor will just do it. And he said, but I am happy to do it. The hospital won't typically call my doctor unless I request. So he said, so like if you go into labor on a weekend and you say, you know, my doctor wants to be notified that I'm in labor, they'll call me. And he said, and I will come if I'm available. He's like, clearly if I'm on like a boat in the middle of a lake, I'm not going to come. But he said, I will come if I'm available. So that gave me a lot of like reassurance. I really want him to deliver this baby. I mean, all doctors should be qualified enough to do it, but I want him. So hopefully it'll just be a normal weekday and everything will go perfect and smooth, which is what we all pray for, but we'll see. Anyway, so next appointment, which is 2 weeks, I will get an ultrasound and then we'll have an idea of like the weight of the baby and kind of how big he really is. I don't anticipate him being like huge compared to Luke, but I feel so big. I don't know. I don't know. I think you just always feel huge at this point. I mean, everyone's like, I know you don't feel great, but you look okay. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're just being so nice. My face is really puffed up. And my feet, I'm not going to show you my feet because that's a thing, right? No one wants to see my feet. But my feet are, right now they're pretty swollen. I didn't drink enough water today. And I know I didn't drink enough water today. If I do pretty good on my water intake, I try to drink about 100 ounces a day. If I do, well, at least I should say. If I drink that much, I'm usually pretty good. I don't swell up. But I didn't get close to that. I didn't even get close to that today. So I'm gonna sit here and drink water while I get ready for bed, so that I can get up and go to the bathroom all night, which is fine. I'm gonna do it anyway, so I might as well drink some water. Other than that, I get heartburn every night, and the heartburn and the swelling are probably, and just being flat out uncomfortable. My husband was texting me. He's like, you know, talking about me getting Luke down for the night, and he's like, good job, I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, my entire body hurts, but I did it. It was a good day that I did it. So anyway, I'm ready to have the baby out of me. We've started getting a few things ready around the house, like the bassinet is right there. I need to wash it all, but I got it out mostly so I could remember to wash it all. I got out like the other things like the Doc Tot and the Boppy, and you know, man, babies require a lot of gear. I still have to get the swing out. The car seat is kind of out. I mean, it's all stuffed in. Luke's has a walk-in closet in his room, and it's all stuffed in there. So I just need to get all this stuff out and wash it. Like the covers of everything. The car seat cover and all that stuff. I haven't washed any clothes or anything yet either, but really it's the car seat, the Boppy. I'm a Boppy lover. And probably the bassinet. That are like the top 3 things that I need to make sure I get washed. And some clothes. But like I'm at 35 weeks too. So I'm almost like, well, if the bassinet's sitting here and I got it out really early, but more just because I have been trying to just kind of clean out, see what I have, see what I need, whatever. But I'm kind of like, it's gonna sit here for 5 weeks. I don't really want to wash it and then have it sit here and collect dust for 5 weeks, you know? So I'm kind of like, not ready to wash yet, but I have it out so that I can wash it. And like, when do I install the car seat? You know, I just kind of like, I could install it anytime. It's not like that matters, but because you know those car seats have bases anyway. I could install the base, but I don't know, I'm just kind of like, I don't want to do everything too early. It was Amazon Prime days this week, and I got tons of stuff. Thank goodness for Amazon Prime Day right before I had a baby. I got tons of baby stuff. I had already like built my list before Amazon Prime Day came because I knew a bunch of things that I wanted to get, but I wanted to wait so that I could get a deal if I could get a deal. And I got a ton of stuff that I needed. I probably should like, it's still being shipped. Like I've gotten a few things, and there are still some things that I'm waiting on. And then I also have my Amazon, what is it called? Amazon Baby Registry free basket thing on its way too. And so I should probably do a video about that. But anyway, there's a bunch of things that I ordered that I'll share. Some cool new products that I found for like nursing that I'd never heard of before that I'm hoping will like be awesome. Because you know, you spend a ton of money and you're like, oh my gosh, I only have all this stuff, Amazon Prime, and what do you have, like 30 days to return it? Well, the baby is due 1 month and 2 days from today. So if it doesn't do what I want it to do, I'm kind of going to be outside the return window. So I'm going to be stuck keeping all of this. But anyway, I've ordered a bunch of stuff. So after I get it all, then I'll do another video and kind of show what I've got. I also need to make a list of for my bag. I'm not totally ready to like pack my bag for the hospital yet. but I want a list ready just in case it's one of those like rush out the door moments. There are things I definitely don't want to forget, like the camera or my boppy or my, you know, just things you just don't want to forget. The hospital provides you with a ton, but they're also not gonna like have my cameras and my boppies and my clothes. So the car seat, you know, there are just things that I need to make a list so that if we do have to rush out, we'll be ready. My friend, who is also pregnant and goes to the same doctor as me, asked the doctor, and we are delivering at the same hospital, asked the doctor at her doctor's appointment what the current hospital COVID restrictions, I don't know the right word, are. And the doctor said, and I was gonna ask him, but she had already given me the information, but I would have been curious to see what he said to me. But he said, it's changing all the time. The hospital's changing their restrictions like weekly, he said. But when he met with her, which was this past week, he said that, you know, there are a few things, but one of the things he said was no one under 8 years old is allowed to come visit. And I'm like, for real? That's Luke, by the way. I didn't like clarify with her if that means like including siblings too. I imagine it does. Like Luke's not even allowed to go to my doctor's appointments with me. But I will be so bummed if he can't come to the hospital. I don't really care if anybody can't come. Anybody else can't come. They'll all meet him. Honestly, I don't think I'm gonna let anybody else come. I just kind of want it to be low stress. I just don't want people to come, really. I just don't. But I wanted Luke to come. At first I didn't. And then I was like, oh, yeah. And I'm like worried too about like, I mean, he's only 3 and he's an only child. And I'm worried about resentment from like, he's never slept over anywhere, ever, ever. We have never spent a night apart. I mean, that's not true. He spent a night apart from me or he spent a night apart from Mike, but he's never been away from both parents at the same time and had to sleep somewhere else or had to be under the care of a grandparent overnight. And the first time he will be when we're in the hospital. And I'm worried about resentment toward the baby because he's away from us. And so I wanted him to be able to like come to the hospital and kind of see what it's all about. Mike and I had also talked about maybe, because we were in the hospital 2 nights with Luke, which I think is pretty standard. Mike and I also talked about maybe him just spending only 1 night at the hospital and then him coming home and sleeping with Luke at home. So he would only be with grandparents for 1 night. And he still may do that, just depending on how everything goes, whatever. But anyway, I'll be really bummed if Luke can't come to the hospital, because I just don't want any resentment toward the baby about like, you took my mom away, you know, you took my dad away. I don't know. Having a toddler and having a new baby is hard, like emotionally. I mean, your hormones are so wacky anyway after you have a baby. I think it's gonna rock his world, but I think it's gonna rock mine too, because I'm gonna see Luke struggle. And I'll also see the joy, which is great, but I'll see those struggles and it's gonna really break my heart, I think. I mean, I am having this baby for him. You know, like yes, I want a baby, but this is a sibling for him, and it'll take him 20 years before he realizes it's a blessing. But Oh, it's sad, it's hard, but anyway. Okay, so that's the update. I'll do another update when I get all my stuff from Amazon, probably. We are caught up. I just uploaded a video from 33 weeks that I'll post in the next couple days. So I'm 35 right now. So consider that caught up. If you think I'm getting any more caught up than 2 weeks, you're dreaming. But just know, these videos are mostly caught up, so. Huzzah, I did it. I know everyone's like, well, this pregnancy is flying by. Yeah, it's because I upload videos every week, and every week it's 5 weeks different in pregnancy, but it's just how this one worked out. Just be glad I caught up before the baby actually came. So anyway, okay, goodbye from me and this little chunky kid. We're gonna make it. Whether it's the 38 weeks or 40 weeks. Or before, you know, whenever he decides to come. We're gonna make it. I keep telling myself that.